Podcast. I'm your host, Jason, along with Chris.
Yo.
And...
My name's Ashley. How are you?
Yay! So all three of us are together, and to be exact, I did do research. Or the last time we did this, February 18th.
February 18th.
Where all three of us were together.
So you know,
it's been a minute. Been a minute.
Yeah.
So we'll catch up on everything. So it's been a long summer.
Indeed.
We had a little bit of stuff we did in early July. We've been off since then. So how was everybody's summer? Chris, go you first.
Busy. In a word,
This was
busy.
my first full summer as a mom.
So you were busy with
with my little stepson,
Yep.
chasing his little butt around all the time. We learned to ride bikes. We taught him to swim. Got him all toughened up. Starting to get bruises.
Yeah.
You saw that picture.
Welcome to being a little man.
Right?
Yep. So
He's got to bust his nuts sometime.
It's going to happen, man.
He's got to rack them.
So back together again. So season's starting up. We're on technically the second day of training camp. We're
Yep.
recording on September 15th.
Yep.
Blues started off not great injury-wise. Everybody's
Oh, wow.
injured. We'll get into Blues stuff. So this is how we're going to break everything down. We're going to do like an Eastern Conference preview here. Not
Very, very
super
abridged.
in-depth because we've done in-depth things and it's a grind.
It
Especially for me when I had to do tons of research and other stuff, and sometimes it's just a lot of information, and I think we just do a general talk. It's a lot easier on everybody. So we're going to do that. So we'll do the East, run through everything in the East. We're going to do really kind of more of a better breakdown of the Pacific due to everybody going to the Pacific this offseason.
Unless your name is Jonathan Tavares, you went to the Pacific.
Yeah.
And even he almost went to the Pacific.
Correct. The team that almost got him got another big player yesterday.
Truth.
Which we'll talk about that. Almost everybody in the Pacific pretty much, except for maybe Anaheim, I'll say Anaheim.
Anaheim and Vancouver.
And Vancouver, yeah. They got guys, but not good ones. But Central Blues did great, I think. Let's see. I think expectations are very high right now. Let's say the very least.
Let's
say the optimism. There's a lot of optimism about this season
Right.
compared to where I was going into to start. A lot of
Agreed.
question marks as well, but we'll get into the big Blues preview later. So right now, we're going to start with the Eastern Conference. So let's see. How about the Metro first? And we'll start with the home of the Stanley Cup champions. Weird to say this, the Washington
I'm
Capitals.
still not used to that. I cried when they won the Stanley Cup though, because it was really cool to see them do it.
Yeah, I was happy. I mean,
I was happy for them.
A lot of people say the Blues of the East.
Wait,
100% they are. For sure.
So that's maybe that gives some
agree.
Blues fans hope to a degree where team keeps failing when they're expected to win, and then the year that they're expected
Everybody
to do
cries.
crap the bed.
Well, I
And
mean,
they wound up pulling it off.
Did you
So-
all know that the Montreal Canadiens have their own GIF on Instagram?
Oh, fancy.
yeah.
Yeah, and so then there's a little Patrick Kane too. Well, we don't like him.
Well, there's no accounting for taste.
Yeah.
I look at the Capitals much like the Blues,
The
and that it
Blues
was
have one.
it was-
Sorry, I was trying to post something for our
Oh,
podcast
nice.
thing, and,
Yeah,
the,
the
and the
Blues.
Blues have a damn GIF.
Oh,
Sweet.
breaking
I'm
news.
excited. I know that just made my day. All right, sorry y'all.
all good.
Keep going.
They had their dragon that they couldn't slay in the Pittsburgh Penguins, much like us and the Blackhawks.
Yep.
And
Literally.
I think that Washington last year was very much like the Blues of 3 years ago at this point.
16, right?
Yeah, well, I guess 2 years ago, where they finally beat the team they couldn't beat. And the difference is where the Blues, ran out of gas in the Western Conference Final, this team was able to get over the hump and go all the way.
Yep. So,
So kudos to them. I mean, look, it's great that arguably your league's best player finally has a Stanley Cup.
That's what I was gonna say.
It
He
validates
deserves
him.
it.
He totally deserves it.
His name needs to be on there.
He
or else
does,
this
and-
sport's got something wrong with
And,
it.
the TJ Oshie story is great with his dad and stuff like that.
stay bad on Alzheimer's.
I actually just talked to his dad the other day. He was messaging me on Facebook. He friend requested me on Facebook and started talking to me a lot. He's actually
He's a very nice man.
yes, he's really freaking awesome. I
He
agree.
interacts with Kelly a lot and her show. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he's rad.
That being said, I don't think the Capitals are going to repeat.
Sorry, but they did re-sign John Carlson. They
Yeah.
only lost one player off their team. It was Jay Beagle, went to Vancouver.
Yep.
So basically, they're going to try to replace.
Well, they lost two.
Who am I missing? Sorry.
They lost a goalie.
Grubauer got traded. Excuse me. Yeah, the backup. So Grubauer is in.
Grubauer, who was the starter to start the playoffs.
Correct. And like I saw, my grand scheme was having Grubauer do well, and then they trade Holtby in the offseason.
Yep.
But I was right about Holtby being really good, so at least I'll give myself.
Look, I mean, this goalie situation is not unlike the goalie situation in 03 in Montreal. No, I think 06, 07.
6 or 7, yeah.
Where you had Carey Price and Yaroslav Halak.
Yeah. So Washington, that looks like their backup is going to be a familiar name to some Blues fans, Phoenix Copley.
Yep.
Who the Blues acquired and then traded back to.
Yeah.
They acquired in the. Wasn't the Shattenkirk one? No.
No, the Phoenix Copley deal?
No, it was in the Oshie deal.
Yes.
We got Copley. And the Shattenkirk deal is when we sent him back.
Correct.
So he is going to be their backup, it looks like, and then they're kind of see how things go. Their big prospect, they're kind of their Ville Husso guy, Samsonov.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be their top goalie in the minors. They don't have, and they're just going to rely on some of the younger guys this year, so it's kind of interesting for Washington. I'm just going down the line right here. Pittsburgh didn't do much
Fine.
either. They'll still be good. They got two of the best players in the game.
I think that Pittsburgh is on the same course as Chicago.
They're on the downhill, but they're further back.
Maybe 3 years behind the curve.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be competitive for another year or two. But I think that cliff is coming soon when you look at the Penguins, just because they're getting old.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
they'll
they
still
are.
be good.
It's like you look at the roster and you're like, man, these have been the same names.
Same dudes.
Yeah, they got their core and they've kind of just been working around it, but their prospects is catching up. They haven't. Their prospect base is ranked one of the worst, according to I think Corey Pronman on the Athletic. Blues, mind you, are number 3, which is crazy.
Well, and as we'll get into when we talk the Blues, I think that there's something to be said for that in the fact that we ripped through our prospects over the last decade
Yep.
to
I
try
never
to
drafted
get,
anything higher than 20. Really.
to try to get a good team on the ice, and we depleted a lot of those prospects, and now we've restocked that cabinet. We just
After
got
completely changing
Yeah.
the dynamic of our team. Though. Our team's totally different.
I
now.
agree. We just got to find a way to get it to translate to the ice now.
It can look good on paper all day and look good.
You gotta
in media
execute, man.
all day.
Yep,
but
that's
if
what-
you
that's
don't,
what, we'll
if you
talk
don't do
about.
the dance to the song, it's not going to work.
So next team we have down the line is Philadelphia. They're big.
I was just getting ready to say.
Their big acquisition, they, to a degree, reacquired. They signed James Van Riemsdyk to a big deal. So that's
That's a good one. For them.
once again, their thing is going to be they have a very good prospect base due to them getting all the first round picks recently. So
Who's their goalie?
Brian Elliott,
Right. So we can move on.
So we'll see how it goes.
I was like, you know this. Why
So,
are you asking?
I know. We know our feelings on Brian Elliott. We won't get into it. So, like I said, if he gets hot and stays pretty decent the whole time, but unfortunately it only happens for a good 30-ish games.
Yori Laterra waivers?
No, Yori Laterra is still on the team.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. So, yeah, they're just going to ride him out in the fourth line. I bet you he will eventually find his
Is
way
this
to
the last
minors.
year of that contract?
2 more years.
Oh, God.
What?
2 more years of 4.7 for Yori
Contract's that
Laterra.
long?
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't think it was.
God.
Because
Philly.
him and Shannon had the same exact contract
Man,
years.
everything
We were
that's
just
making
more.
me mad today is
Doug
making me goosebumps.
Armstrong should be put in jail for rape.
Oh, okay. On that note,
How dare you talk about
But
it?
I mean,
what I was gonna say.
damn.
yeah.
What a great deal for the Blues.
For
but,
us,
oh
yeah,
my God.
absolutely.
Yeah, man, they got prospects, and the prospects they got in that trade,
Sorry for screwing you.
they got
For real, though.
they got halfway decent guys. Like Morgan Frost was a guy who tied Jordan Kyrou in points in OHL last year, and that's who
Right.
they drafted with our guy. So who knows? But also at the same time,
You're
who
paying
knows if
Yori
they turn out.
I
Laterra
feel like we're.
6?
4.7. Yeah,
I
that's a
feel
lot
like
of
if
money.
this was like a relationship status type thing, they'd be like, "No, they screwed me and left, and then they ghosted me." I feel like we're never gonna be on their radar again.
Didn't even buy us dinner.
Yeah, team
Right.
of speaking of ghosted,
and
Columbus.
For real, though.
Columbus really didn't add too many. They kind of subtracted guys. Their big question is they have a pretty decent team. The problem is they have some big guys who might not be with the team starting next year. One being their goalie.
Yeah,
Sergei
they got a lot of
Bobrovsky.
UFAs
Yeah,
coming
lots
up, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
lots
and they're
of
big,
money.
and the big one is Artemi Panarin, who in the offseason pretty much told them,
I'm not signing.
I don't want to sign with you guys. He said, I'm not ready to discuss a contract this time, but pretty much it means
I feel like
don't
he
wanna
doesn't want to
with
sign with any.
Well, I think he wants to go to a big market, and I think he wants to go to New York.
Hell,
maybe L.A.
LA can't sign him, so we'll say that.
No, I was
Somebody
gonna-
on the West Coast.
But I mean, he wants to go to a top 5 market.
yeah.
Which for the NHL means New York, L.A. He ain't going back to Chicago.
Nope.
Dallas, because there's not a team in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Unless you want to consider the Sharks, which is
Somebody on the
Florida,
West.
San Francisco.
Somebody on the West, I figured. And then
There's
let's-
sand in the name.
somebody else in New York.
True.
I think the Rangers could be in New York.
Right,
Either one of the
Islanders
New
could be
Yorks.
it.
Yeah, either one of the
Devils?
New Yorks could work. Devils could be it too.
Because, I mean, you can see New York from that stadium.
You know, we just need to let me meet him, and I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
I
Deal.
mean, hey,
I need
whatever
to do.
you need to do, get it done.
Well, Tarasenko was his best friend, so who knows?
That we talked about that. Like, that's the thing that
It's weird.
concerns me is like, for instance, if the three of us were NHL players and one of you guys was either a pending free agent or had made it known you didn't want to come or you didn't want to go back to your team, and I was playing for a team and we were best friends, and I'm like, yo, you should come here, and you're like, nah, I'm good.
Exactly.
something
Like,
there.
what does that say about?
Well, who knows what happens? So
But then again,
It's
I
interesting.
feel like with and I mean, this is just me speaking on. This is my personal opinion.
Right.
You know, not based on anything that's in the media. I feel like since there was so much animosity with Tarasenko last season, that he probably told him like, nope, this shit's pissing me off. Just like don't this year.
I don't know, man.
Again, nobody foresaw what the Blues were going to do this offseason either.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of that's just my personal opinion, because then also when it comes to the best friend thing,
Right.
if stuff's not going right with your team and I wanted you to come to my team, I'm not going to put you in a bad position. So I'm going to say, yo, like, hold off for a little bit. See what my team does, because they're really ticking me off right now, because you know that's exactly how he felt for a good chunk of time.
Well, I'm
'Cause
sure.
He was extremely frustrated with
I'm sure.
our team for a while.
Do you think that there's any what's the word I'm looking for? Any hostility to the fact that Tarasenko told the Blues years ago about them and they didn't go out and pursue him as a rookie?
I think that
Could
might
be.
have a big chunk to do with it, though. I mean, again, the friendship thing comes to play, and you're like, okay, the Blues already know I'm a badass. I'm
Right.
going to be here. Go after this guy. He's not only my friend, but I can play with this
Yeah.
guy.
I
and
mean-
it probably pissed him off.
It could. God, because I
When
look
it
at
comes to
that.
best friends, though, like,
Yeah.
you know, there are certain boundaries that people can cross that just you can't help but hold that grudge inside of you.
I hope that's not the case because I would love to see him there.
Because
but
even he might
if
have
not
a
here,
grudge.
if not here, get him out of the Central.
I mean,
Keep him in
even
the East.
He might have a grudge that we didn't try to look at him after
Yeah.
Tarasenko told us to. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that there's a bunch of, I guess, reasons why this
Yeah, it's
could have played out.
to me I think that there's more happening than what the agent is leading on about. He wants to go to a big market because that really limits you. This isn't baseball. This isn't football. This isn't even the NBA. It really limits you on what markets you can go to if you're saying major market. Like, are you
Yeah.
saying top 5 markets, top 10 markets? Because
Yeah, which market are you talking about?
some of those teams in big markets ain't that good.
Yeah,
The
I was gonna
Rangers,
say, we've got
not really
tight
great.
markets too.
The Islanders, not really great. Dallas, not really great. LA, they spent all their money this offseason.
Yeah.
So then you're looking at what? The next biggest market for the NHL would be maybe Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing something I can't think right now.
Yeah. It's somebody that's on the East.
Detroit?
Yeah. If they had money, yeah. They have that opening now.
But that team sucks.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm Panarin, I spent my time on a good team. We couldn't get it done because they were aging. I went to a small market team that was okay, average to good, not great.
Well, they did better.
They did. I mean, they still did what they usually did, which was crap out in the first round. If I'm now looking at being able to write my own ticket, I not only want to go to a place where I enjoy staying, I want to win. And, you know, you look around like, okay, do you go to D.C.? Do you go to Nashville?
Ugh.
Do you go? I mean, I think you could take San Jose off the books now because they got to be broke.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to.
It's not going to be Chicago. Do you hop on the train and go to Vegas?
The thing that gets me the most about him, though, is like he hasn't said really.
No, he hasn't,
anything.
and nor should he.
I agree.
As a player, he needs to keep his mouth shut and play hockey.
I agree because that gets a lot of people in trouble. But like you said, like with the agent, like there's something there.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure. I'm sure there's more being said there.
Because-
And I'm telling you right now, if Columbus starts hot, I would like, and I don't mean like 10 games hot or 20 games hot, but like if we hit the All-Star break and that team's in first place in their division or conference,
They're not going to stop.
I'll bet you that all of a sudden Columbus becomes a lot more attractive of a situation to him because he can demand more money. And is it like it's like the other leagues where like with Tavares, no one's going to be able to offer him as much money in term as Columbus, correct?
Term, just money, you can offer whatever.
But term,
Yeah. He can sign 8 years with Columbus, but only 7 with anybody else.
Right.
So it's not like the NBA where it's like it's
Yeah.
money things too.
God, I
so
hate
yeah,
Gary Bettman.
Yep. So
I just really do.
let's see, Carolina next. Excuse me, New Jersey. I'll do New Jersey first, real quick. New Jersey, not much happened except for Martin Brodeur went back.
Yep.
not as a player.
Right.
Which
yeah.
is not surprising.
Not surprising.
So he came back. He's just doing like the business side. Apparently, he's not
That
doing
doesn't
any
surprise
kind
me.
of- And apparently,
We all knew that was
that's where he
coming.
kind of belongs. And I'm
when he
as well as
left, I
things-
knew it was one of two places. He
It
was
was
either
eventually
back in
gonna happen,
Jersey or he
so.
was going to follow Lou to Long Island.
Yeah, so he's going back there for more of a business side compared to he's assistant GM here, where it's less time away from his family and a little
But I
more.
think he's really also tired of us getting mad at our office. So he's just like, you know what, I'm out of here. Bye.
we will get into why the real reason I hate losing Brodeur when we talk about the Blues.
Correct.
There's a
Okay.
legitimate reason why I'm concerned about him being gone.
Okay, so New Jersey, like I said, not really too much they did in the
Nope,
offseason.
they
so
lost a couple guys.
They lost a couple minor guys, but nothing like crazy. They didn't really sign too many guys, so they just barely made the playoffs last year after getting the first overall pick the year before.
Yeah,
so
we're waving
they're
at the same team pretty much. That we
yeah,
did
so
last
they're going to
season.
try to ride out with all their young players and just grow
Yeah.
from there. Taylor Hall, supposedly
2 years left.
2 years left. Going to get a lot of money.
Going to get a lot of money.
Correct. So we'll go with the team that
I
like
hate you, Kevin Shattenkirk.
correct.
Don't get me
We
started.
will-
God, I hate you, Kevin
Oh,
Shattenkirk.
don't get me
So
started.
a team that is
you're
topical
listening to
because
this,
it's
I
in the
still
news,
don't like
but
you.
also a team that made a ton of changes. Carolina Hurricanes.
Everybody's different.
Wow.
So big trade with Calgary where they acquired Dougie Hamilton.
Uh huh.
And there's the main piece in that one. New third jersey, we put that in there.
Love it. It's just like the old one, but I still like it.
New coaching staff headed by former Blue Rob Brindamore.
Yep.
A couple traded Jeff Skinner.
Rod Brendamore, who I think played for every team in the NHL twice.
He went around a little bit. Jeff Skinner gone.
He's the only player you can be in any old school hockey game, like on Sega or PlayStation.
he's gonna
where
be in there.
You hear his name on every single fucking team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they finally named a new captain after all this time. Justin Williams just named captain yesterday.
Mr. Game 7.
Yes, so he only has 1 year left on his contract. I thought it was kind of weird he's captain, so I guess he's going to resign.
Let him go out with a bang.
Whatever. So, so they have a ton of changes.
Most
got the top
importantly,
number 2 pick.
On top of the third jersey,
shit,
there's a
Nicole.
fourth jersey.
Yeah, they're apparently going to be. I don't know if they're wearing or selling.
I
the-
thought
I
they
heard
were going to
wear.
wear it
I
for
didn't
like
see this
2 or
one.
3 games.
The
I
whale.
wanna see this
They're
one.
bringing back the whale.
They're going to bring back the whale.
Shut your head.
Yeah.
The I don't know if they're going to wear it.
All
I
with
heard wear,
No,
but
they're
All
not wear it.
respect.
If they bring back the whale, you better
With
wear it.
with all respect to Winston-Salem, Carolina, move that team back to Hartford.
yeah.
Please, God, bring back the
Oh
whale.
my God, I know those shirts. Just like when I see
the whale's
them
awesome.
from like Glassbangers makes, one of those
Yeah.
shirts, and that is probably still to this day my favorite purchase from them.
I have a real crappy knockoff Whalers jersey, but I want to
See,
get a legit one.
I found a really awesome Whalers hat. Gosh, where were we? I think my husband and I were in Gatlinburg back in May for one of our good friends' wedding, and we went through these little mom and pop shops
Yeah.
that they have, and I saw a really awesome Hartford Whalers shirt or hat. But the thing was, the logo on it was just a little crooked, and me, I'm too much.
I'm with you on that.
I would literally have ripped it off
Resewn
and
it.
yeah, because I'm that crazy about that stuff. But-
If you get a Whalers jersey, whose name do you put on it?
Which era though? It depends.
All time.
Shanahan probably.
That's
Incorrect.
What I was going to do it.
Mine's the
Craig.
Shanahan,
Yeah.
but it's Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe. Well, that's why I asked
wow.
error. That's why I asked
Yeah.
error because he didn't play in the one with his like the navy blue one. He didn't
I
play.
want a Kelly Green Whalers
Or
jersey.
Kelly Chase jersey. They played with-
True. Chris Pronger jersey.
That's what I said. I thought it said Pronger. Anyway, so we got 2 more to wrap up the Metro. The bottom feeders, the Islanders. Whew, not a good offseason.
Anything happen big with them?
Only
Anything
lost
important?
Probably
I'm
their
going to take my
franchise
potty
player.
break while y'all talk about them because I have nothing to say.
Well, neither do any Islanders fans.
Yeah, so Islanders, not great. Second to last year. Let's see, what else did they do? New coach,
Yeah, big upgrade, I guess.
Barry
Trotz.
Trotz over Doug Waite. Doug Waite left. The rumor was
Doug Waite was kind of shown the door.
yeah. The rumor was that tipped the scales for John Tavares. I don't know if that's even remotely. There's so much.
I don't
going
know,
around. I
man.
don't think so. I think it's called. He kind of looked around and you got to go home. It's a mix. You got to go home to the team you grew up watching.
And it's a team
And
that's
a
heading in
team
the right
that's
direction.
on the rise that you can win a cup. You stayed in New York, you're not going to win a cup for the next 5, 6, 7 years. By the
I
time you're
would
almost the end
say
of your career.
the bigger factor as far as off ice stuff, the bigger factor with the Islanders would be the arena situation because that thing's a mess.
Yeah, because they're going to play half the home
2/3
games.
of the season in Brooklyn,
2/3, yeah, 2/3.
a third in the old Coliseum.
And after
They're
that, who
just now starting to break ground on the new arena. I was actually in
Oh, were you?
Long Island.
They actually break ground on it because I thought I didn't know if it got passed yet or not. But I don't know enough about it.
I believe. Well, and they may not have broken ground. I think it's
area.
going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think at the earliest, you're looking at 5 years.
Wow. So that's one of the things about travel and stuff. That's one of the things where people were kind of.
Yeah.
He thought that was a tipping point as well. Who knows? At the end of the day, he never really said what tell him not to do there. He just focused on the, I guess, positives. So last team, New York Rangers, traded everybody last year.
Boy, did they.
Basically threw in the towel last year and
Early.
sent like a letter to fans saying, "Hey, we're going to change things up and we're going to try our best and all this good stuff." But so Rangers are welcoming back old friend Kevin Shattenkirk.
How many years realistically do you think Lundqvist has left?
3.
I mean, I think we're getting to the point where we're like year to year with that dude.
Yeah, but I think he has 2 or 3 more years left. But so,
On his contract, sure,
yeah,
but
who knows
I
if he
mean,
finishes it. So
he's
Rangers,
getting to that point where when he's great, but when he's bad, he's bad.
yeah,
I gotta
Rangers.
find a way to
Rangers
get a
didn't
hold of that
really
guy.
bring anybody back. They're just kind of like they're going with the youth movement. They're going to try to get some of their first round picks in there and see how they do. And hopefully, the only trade they just made a trade very recently with Boston and acquired Adam McQuaid, which is not
Yeah.
a big deal, but their defense is horrible. So at least he'll help.
That whole team. I mean, and then they got rid of, like you said, they got rid of everybody last year before the deadline.
Yeah, McDonough re-signed with Tampa, which we'll talk about.
Nash in Boston.
JT Miller signed there. Nash is the only person out of that one did not re-sign with anybody due to his health. He doesn't know if he could do another season or whatever the hell he said. I got a feeling he's one of those like, oh, he's going to pull a Mike Fisher,
Come out of retirement.
come out of retirement right around the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll sign with some contender that's.
Or
gonna
if there's a
definitely
big
win the team.
injury,
Yeah,
a.k.a. Martin Brodeur to the Blues.
correct. Something big like that. So
God, I still can't believe that all happened.
We'll
It
go
seems
through-
like just yesterday, doesn't it?
yeah,
Ball.
Washington, Pittsburgh, Philly, Columbus, New Jersey, Carolina, Islanders, and the Rangers. That's how they finished last year. Just make it simple on everybody. Let's just say your playoff teams. Who wins the division? Give me this. Who wins the division? And then name your playoff teams.
Go ahead, Ashley. I'll let you go first.
Or if you want me to, I'll go first. I'll go first since I have it in front of me, and you give you that since I just dropped it on you. So I still think Washington's going to be the class of this division. Barely. I think Philadelphia is going to take a big step forward this year. I say Washington's going to win a division. I say Philly and Pittsburgh are going to battle for the number 2 and 3 position, just like they did last year. Columbus is going to be in that battle too, but I think just a step behind. And I see New Jersey being barely a wild card team.
Okay.
They have a chance to be a wild card team. I think them in Florida are going to be just like last year. They're going to be battling for it. Carolina's going to be greatly improved. I see them being closer. I see them being closer.
Closer, yeah.
They had 83 points last year. I say getting them maybe closer to 90 this year.
Okay.
Islanders are going to be worse this year. The Rangers, I think they'll be better than 77 points.
Right.
So that's my picks. I said Washington win division with Pittsburgh and Philly being your 2 other representatives from the division, and then Columbus being one of your wild card teams. New Jersey has a shot at it, but I don't think they're going to squeak in. Honestly, that's just me.
I'm going to put Pittsburgh at top, and I'll say right below them will be Washington. I think Philadelphia is a distant third. And then, I mean, I'm tempted to say New Jersey over Columbus just because I think that there's going to be.
You think the Panarin thing's
I think the Panarin thing is going to be a distraction. If they get that settled, I could see that smoothing out and them being, pushing forward. But I think that looming over their head is going to be a distraction, and it's going to be a distraction that only gets worse as games go on. So I would venture to say, just because of the stability right now, I would put New Jersey over Columbus.
Okay, so interesting there. Ashley, you wrap it up there.
I honestly think that Columbus is going to surprise us. I think they're going to rank a little. I mean, they're ranking higher on mine. I'm going to do Caps, and then I'm going to do Columbus. And then I think that Philly and Pittsburgh are going to battle for 3 and 4 spots. But I don't know. The Carolina, though.
All the changes, you never know. But so could be interesting. How about I hold off some hope, and I say that I'm going to keep Columbus at 2. Man, maybe. I'm a woman. I need more time to think about All right.
this.
We'll move on. So
Because
we'll wrap up
I feel like I have so many emotions.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the East with the Atlantic Division. This is the division of the haves and the have-nots, is what I'm saying. You basically 4 teams that are good to really good, or like really good to pretty good, and then whatever that kind of scale that is, I'm trying to make up. And then you have the really bad teams. So it's very interesting. You have basically teams that have a chance to finish the last in the league, and you have teams that are possibly finish first in the league in this division. It's very interesting.
Isn't it crazy how completely different Eastern Conference is and the Western Conference hockey?
Yeah,
is?
like it's going to be a gauntlet for like the
two
West.
Totally different leagues.
The Atlantic is very interesting because, like I said, teams that are really good and then teams that are really bad. So it's just you're going to get one of each. Where that's interesting. So first off, the powerhouse, which a lot of people are already picking for the Cup this year, is Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
113 points last year.
You could have said that last year and the year before and the year before.
Yeah.
Well, when I was down there, I was down there twice in August for work for 2 weeks, and both times I was down there like everybody that saw my hockey tattoos and asked like what I do like in my spare time, what I like, getting to know new people down there. Everybody down there thinks that they've got this like in the bag already, completely in the bag. And I
got a good team, I'll
but
say
I
that
shit
much.
you not. Every single person I talked hockey with when I was down there, every single one of them thinks that they've got it in the bag.
I
Good
look at
team.
Tampa Bay like the Dallas Stars with slightly more playoff success.
Yeah, so
They are every season. Everyone talks about the Dallas Stars and
Yeah.
everyone talks about the Tampa Bay Lightning.
yeah, they Tampa Bay
they're-
pretty much did a job of locking up people.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they locked up Nikita Kucherov for a long
Which
time,
is a big one.
which is a very good idea.
I like him
To
a
a
lot.
very good contract. 2 guys they just acquired, JT Miller and Ryan McDonough.
Not to be confused with TJ Miller, the actor.
Correct. Yeah.
I totally had them confused. Thank you, because I was going after
You're
one
welcome.
but not the other.
Yeah.
I
Close.
have a type. Sorry, husband.
So let's see where am I at? There. So yeah, they basically locked up 2 guys. They're basically just locking up the core and then worrying about stuff later. Their other big thing happened. Steve Yzerman stepped down.
He's kind of a shock to me.
Yeah.
To me, that makes me think something's happening in
Did you
Detroit.
read the articles about it?
I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh my
He
gosh.
said he's going back to Detroit because he wants to be close to family. Mind you, he does not say he's working for Detroit, but I think all indications.
It's if it's not this season, it's coming
Read
soon.
a couple of these articles and then text me and tell me what you think, because
I think.
All right.
I think this year is his last year under contract, so he's going to be an advisor.
Right.
So he kind of came in, built this team up,
He did a great job.
did a great job. So
well, I mean,
we'll see how.
apparently there's been
Was
rumors
he
for a
in
couple
charge
years,
of
too,
drafting
so-
Stamkos? Or was Stamkos there before?
Sadly, Stamkos was there right before him.
Okay.
Tell me why, since we're talking about hockey, I just naturally reached over here for a Budweiser, thinking that
Yeah.
I was there, and I looked down and I was like, oh no.
Tis the season.
So
It is.
Tampa, really good. I expect them to be.
They'll be
probably
great.
top. Yep. Another team which is high expectations this year, Boston.
Yeah.
They have a shot
Well,
to
Boston shuffled some stuff around too. I mean, hello?
They did.
do trading Adam McQuaid away. Was their big deal. They've already played a preseason game late last night at 2
Yeah,
a.m.
they
Oh,
won,
yeah, in the
they
middle
won
of
in a
They
Japan?
won
shootout,
overtime
right?
in a shootout.
Yeah, 4-3.
Yeah. So the China game is basically
China, not Japan.
Yep.
So they're going to do
Who do they play against?
the Calgary Flames.
Yeah, they played
Right.
against Flames.
So they lost their backup goalie, but they acquired old friend Yaroslav Halak, who's going to be the new backup, which is a good move for them, I think.
Apparently, he's fitting in kind of well there too.
It's great.
So it's
I was always a Halak guy.
Yep. So he'll be fine.
Halakamania.
So they got a very veteran team, and they do got some
Halakamala.
guys, some younger guys like Jake DeBrusk and some other guys. So they're going to try to do a mix of veterans and younger guys, kind of like the Blues. Who knows if
Show them the ropes.
Yeah.
Teach them the
So
ways.
Tuukka Rask is getting up there, though. So
Hopefully
I
they
expect
only listen to some
their
of the
window is
older
wide
guys,
open
though.
right now. So I think Boston is going to be another very good team.
I agree.
Uh,
They're my fave in the Eastern Conference. I've always been a Boston fan. I mean, then again, those that know me personally can kind of understand why.
Yeah. So they didn't make it out of the first round last year, or they did the second round
Bad
last year. Excuse me.
attitude.
Let's see where am I?
I fit in right with all their fans. So.
Where am I?
You're much
like,
you're much
Ashley-
better than your average Boston fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
And you don't have the horrible accent.
Yeah, correct. So another team
I was
which
gonna try to fake it, but I'm so terrible at it. I'd probably sound like a
Boston?
weird
Boston?
I'd sound like a weird mix between
try.
like a
Go for
Swede
it.
It's
and
the
a,
ugliest accent
and a
in the
UK
country.
person and an Australian. I'll probably be like a weird
mix
mutt.
of everything. So Toronto, they do anything in the offseason?
Yes.
No.
Sleep.
Sign somebody.
They
Are
signed
you
some
awake?
guy, which he did announce when he was actually showed him sleeping in bed with Toronto Maple Leaf sheets. So you were close on that one. So John Tavares goes home for a lot of money, 7
A lot
years,
of money.
$77 million, a lot of money. They got a really good team already.
Yeah.
So they're already as soon as John Tavares signed there, everybody's like giving them the cup. I'm like, you need defense though. So
Yeah, and they also
Either
need
that or you're gonna be
education
wi-
on how the game works because you can't just sign one player
Win
and get a
8
cup.
to 7
That's
or
kinda
I
Yeah.
mean,
how that works.
either that or you're going to be winning a lot of games like 7-5.
yeah, so they're gonna be a fun team to watch. I'll say that much.
Oh, for sure.
So-
If he and Austin Matthews could figure out how to coexist,
I love Austin Matthews.
that team is going to be ridiculous good.
Down the middle, I would say they're probably the deepest down the
Oh
middle.
yeah.
By any
yeah.
means. They can go Tavares, Matthews, and Kadri or Nylander, whoever they want.
Yep.
You can do Nylander, then Kadri. You can push him in the fourth line, which is dumb.
Dude, just think about the combinations for that.
you wouldn't
power
push him in the
play.
fourth line. but still.
Possibilities are endless, y'all.
Well, Nylander has not signed. That's the only thing they have that's kind of hanging over them right now. Nylander has not signed.
Really?
Yeah, basically because he wants a lot of money, probably.
Well,
they're going to
yeah.
have problems because they're going to re-sign Matthews
Well,
and
I'm
Marner
gonna
next
play
year.
tag,
Matthews
so-
is next year
Next
year
year.
3.
After next year. So
So now he gets to get a real contract, not a rookie contract.
yeah, he's going to probably get $10 million. So Toronto,
You've grown up.
we're going to be
honey.
very good. Florida made an addition, a guy who, I wanted. I'll be honest, but Mike Hoffman goes to Florida via San
Via
Jose,
San
which is
Jose.
weird.
You know what? We've talked about the Hoffman thing. He is talented, but that story that came
That
out
baggage.
of Ottawa scares the bejesus out of
What
me.
And
am
it's
I
weird.
missing?
Isn't it super weird how that just kind of disappeared too?
I think that there was a court settlement and probably an NDA.
So Eric Carlson, who we'll talk about,
The
got
reason
traded,
why
that-
Carlson
Yeah, okay.
and Hoffman are both gone from Ottawa.
yeah, Ottawa. So Hoffman, because his
Well,
his
because of
girlfriend
all that,
was
all of that.
yeah.
See
The white
and-
stuff.
and this is what messes me up about the turn that this game is taking. Well, I mean, I guess the NHL as a whole, like there is so much all of a sudden outside controversies that are way too brought in to
Well,
the sport now.
I mean-
though. I mean, people want to end fighting, but then they want to talk about Twitter wars. It's stupid.
I can't say that it wouldn't have been the same situation in St. Louis in 1994.
No,
Yeah, that's
I
true.
absolutely agree. I do agree
Correct.
with you.
Or
like
when was
110%.
Gilmore's thing?
But I'm just saying.
Oh,
social-
God. The Gilmore thing was what, 90?
89, 90?
80?
But
89?
when
I
it
don't know, I have to look
comes
it
to
up.
like this Twitter shit and people making fake accounts and all the social
Yeah.
media,
Yeah.
to where social media is starting to come into play when it comes to this
Well,
stuff, it's whack because it
That's-
makes things way more like misconstrued.
Oh,
and
I agree.
complicated, Yeah.
Look, social
Well,
media
that's the only
is
thing
now.
I'm saying. I think that obviously those trades should have happened. I mean, if you're having problems in the locker room like that and people
Mm.
are screwing around with your teammates or their wives or whatever the case may be, and it's causing friction in your team,
Duncan Keith,
Hate you,
dude,
bro.
right?
Hate you, Brendan Shanahan.
Brendan Shanahan.
Hate you, Brendan Shanahan.
I was gonna. Did you see?
Dude,
Question.
I
Did you
know.
see my fantasy hockey name? That changed to?
Did y'all see me get?
Am I gonna have to throw my shoe at you?
No, it's not that. No. No, I
That's
did.
a big shoe.
No, I
You
need
don't
to-
want coming at you, dude.
Doug Gilmore's Babysitters Club.
Yes.
Dude,
Were you at the game? This might have been my first game when he made his return to St. Louis and people were throwing pacifiers on the ice.
No, I was not there.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I was no. That's my fantasy hockey name. I was just trying to think of something very clever because I had it as Jason's team all last year and I never came
Right.
with a good name.
No, but I had a Twitter war, and this was like last week. It's very recent. Of this guy arguing with me about why Pronger came here and Shanahan got traded away. I'm like, do you know? You don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's one
He's
reason.
like, no, that's not why. And I was like,
You know it is.
No,
That's
it
why
is.
they got shipped
But-
to opposite coasts.
No,
Yeah.
but
Shanahan
no,
went to Hartford and Janney went to San Jose. Get as
literally.
far away from each other as
Exactly.
possible.
And then Pronger was just the little guy in the middle.
Yeah.
Standing here. No, but I straight up had, it was one of these guys that was like, oh, well, you're just the pretty voice on the podcast. I was like, first of all, I ain't got a pretty voice. I sound like a dude. I was like, so let's get off there. I was like, they don't show my face. They don't show
I almost
my
said
rump.
something, but I would have gotten backhand slapped if I said it.
But, like, it's just, he was one of those, he was like, oh, you're just the token girl on the show. And I was like, bitch, I will fight you
Yep.
at your mother's house now. Like, I have no shame. And then I will slap your mom. Seriously.
Truth.
No. but he was-
Hashtag real talk.
But he straight up, like, I went and I Googled it for him.
Yeah.
I sent him facts. I sent him articles. And he was just like, oh, well, anybody can Photoshop. I go, because I Photoshopped this in literally.
Why would you Photoshop it?
I don't know. Apparently, I was just trying to prove my point.
Bruh, do your
And I go-
homework.
I go,
She's
dude.
still married to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I
she's
know.
still married to
All right.
Shanahan.
But yeah, I almost said the F word. Screw you, Twitter dude. I don't even remember your name because you're not important.
Someone should have told Brendan Shanahan the first rule, which is you can't make a hoe a housewife, because he did it.
Yeah.
She's still with him, but
He triple stamped a
Toes on a
double
mission.
stamp. That's exactly what he did.
man.
I was finishing the rest of that lyric for you. So anyway, so now that was the halves of the division. Now we're at the have-not part of the division.
Yeah.
We'll start with Detroit Red Wings. Re-signed,
Just when you think ish
re-signed
can't
Mike
get
Green.
worse.
Re-signed
Right.
Mike Green. Got Philip Zadina in the draft, which is amazing.
Yeah.
He fell to them. As of yesterday or 2 days ago now,
I thought you were going to say yesteryear. I was like, excuse me.
Zetterberg.
Henrik Zetterberg
OUT.
officially retired. Has 3 years left on his contract at $6 million per year. So that's long term.
Say it with me. Congratulations, Arizona Coyotes. You've acquired Henrik Zetterberg.
Best team ever made of retired players or players who can't play anymore.
At one point, they had what? Datsuk,
Pronger.
Pronger.
How do you even get to that?
We're missing someone
There's
big.
a couple. Like Mark Savard was the another
Yeah.
contract that went down there.
They are the home for contracts because they've done it so many times.
Yeah, that's at least 3. I know there one or 2 are missing.
They
So
went way down the rabbit hole with that.
yeah,
Oh, dude, they've been the trash can of the league when it comes to
Yeah.
contracts for
So
decades.
He'll be
Still want to
sent
get
down
paid
there.
but don't want to play?
Oh, yeah, that's
Coyotes.
okay. Yeah.
Who was it?
Yeah, Datsuk. I was just trying to think of another one, but I can't
Datsuk and Pronger are the two.
think of it.
that come
what's
to
the name? Just got traded there. Marion Hossa.
Oh yeah, Marion Hossa, another one.
What?
Like,
Where are we at?
yeah, I mean, because he can't play anymore.
Right?
They,
That's why I
and
said you want to not play but still get paid. You
they are
just
the
gotta
eternal
come.
trash can.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sad. It makes me sad.
So
Didn't they actually hold on to Hull's contract for a couple of years? Because he actually played like
went
6
down,
games.
He went down there
I
and actually
probably
tried to
have a
replace
contract
him and
with them.
Joseph were 2 guys that went down there and tried to play, and they didn't last that long.
Yeah, I think Holm lasted 6 games.
6
and he was like,
games.
"I'm done."
Yeah.
because that was back when Gretzky was coaching.
Yes. Let's see. Another team that had a really bad offseason, Montreal Canadiens, got Max Domi in a trade. That's about it. Excuse me. Then they wound up trading Max Pacioretty away recently for Thomas Tatar. They
I
did
don't-
better on that trade somehow than
Honestly,
anybody else
I
did.
don't hate that trade.
I don't hate
they
the trade at
still
all.
got the short end.
They still got a first-round pick, a decent prospect, and a guy who's
And a
going to
good
fill
player.
a guy they needed centers. They didn't have a center, and Tatar
Yeah.
will at least fill that. He's not a great center, but at least he'll fill a center spot for him.
Yeah,
They
they didn't
Thomas
take it in the
Plekanec-
butt like they did
Plekanec
with
re-signed them.
the trade with Arizona.
Yeah. So that was not good. Galchenyuk for Domi was interesting. So I'll do Buffalo first here. What are they called?
The Sabres.
Oh, okay. They made a little bit of splash with trading their best player away, Ryan O'Reilly, who went to St. Louis Blues.
Never heard of him.
Yep. They got a really good player, signed Patrick Berglund.
Yes, fantastic player.
Vladimir-
Fantastic two-way player.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the thing where it was like, everybody rejoice?
Yeah, Patrick Berglund.
Berglund's not going to be a.
He is number 10, in case you want to know. I saw a picture with him, and we were number 10 in the
Did he
training
look-
camp.
Did you
Wow.
look at
He looked
Is
the
there
same.
a 21 on the team already?
No.
I don't think there's one retired. I'll have
Okposo,
to look.
21? Maybe. Anyway, Zaboka gets up there. They're Tage Thompson. We talked about that. Jeff Skinner.
It's a great pickup. I wanted Skinner in
Yeah.
St. Louis.
And they didn't get much for him. A second-round pick,
Nope.
a decent, okay, like their number 6 prospect, and another, I think, a lower pick, and they got him. So not bad.
Jack Eichel comes back for a full year, hopefully.
Yeah. So their center depth is a little lacking, but
It's time for that team to take a step forward.
yeah, they got Carter Hutton in goal now. So if he plays like he did with the Blues, which no offense to
Should be
Carter
good.
Hutton, I don't know if he can play like he did with the Blues. Great, but he's going to be under barrage quite a bit.
Oh, it's going to be a different game for him.
So hopefully he can adjust and do well because I really like Carter Hutton.
I was
So,
going to say I like him a lot, so I hope that
Yeah.
he's
hope he does
successful
well.
in whatever.
I just got a
whatever
feeling
role
that
he
defense is
actually
going to
gets.
wear him down. Not saying our defense was God or anything, but Jesus Christ, our
I just
our,
think
our
this
defense was a
gives
lot
him
better.
a chance to shine a little bit more, though, because if he's going to be taking a lot of shots when he's out there. I mean, we all
Yep.
know this right now. But I mean, like you said, if he plays the same way he did, when he was on the ice here, I think that he has a really good chance of like showing what he
Yeah, so I see them
can do.
improving.
My mind is in the gutter today. I'm
That's
sorry.
fine. No,
Dude,
fine.
I
I was
know.
wondering what you were
Come
saying. I
on.
was like,
I'm
all of a sudden,
like,
Kristen
I'm-
starts laughing. And
Yeah.
Ignore me. My mind is 14 years old today.
That's fine.
I've been awful all day. I've been up since 6. I don't know what's going on. I tried to
It's,
reach for a Budweiser that wasn't there. Let's talk
That
about
technically
it.
there's one right there. I don't know how old that is because the Blues 50th anniversary one. It's unopened. I'm not sure how old it is.
Yeah.
So.
I know, but it's a Bud Light.
That's all I got right now. Believe it or not, I do actually have beer upstairs.
What?
Who are you?
Right?
I know.
What happened to you this summer?
I know. I don't.
Did you go to a real barbecue?
No, no. It's probably left over from somebody left over here, honestly. But anyway,
Probably me.
so we'll get with the probably the worst team in the league this year. And guess what? They don't even have their first round pick this year, so they can't even get the top player because they traded him away in the Matt Duchene trade. Ottawa Senators traded
Christ
away,
Almighty.
Dude,
trading
I feel so
away
bad for their fan base right now
best
'cause they're
players.
all crying.
Two best players, mind you. The Mike Hoffman thing had to happen due to all the offseason stuff.
And
we
so did
talked
the Erik
about.
Karlsson thing.
And the Carlson, in turn, had to happen because of all the crap he went through with the owner and other stuff. Erik Karlsson just got traded to the San Jose Sharks.
Man, oh, man.
Everybody was thinking he was going to go to Vegas. What was the big deal with that?
They were pushing for it.
Vegas is.
I know that they were pushing really hard.
They
for him, but I
wanted,
was like,
which is
no.
weird. I heard they wanted their number one draft pick, which was like Cody Glass, mind you. And then they didn't get crap from San Jose, which is interesting.
Well, let's keep in mind though, they're the new baby of the league. This is their second season. They were probably like trying to push to see how much more good shit they could get after like.
yeah, they just got Pacioretty in a deal last week.
I would love
and
to
re-signed him
see.
instantly, which is weird.
I would love to see what Vegas's 5-year plan was this time
Or-
last year
Yeah.
versus now.
Yeah.
Exactly with how they went.
Because you
like,
can tell,
last
like they
season.
signed Paul Stastny and they got Pacioretty locked
Yeah.
up. They signed, mind you, I hate this contract for Vegas before we get too off of the Ottawa thing. Marc-Andre Fleury's extension.
That's a lot of
He'll
money
be
for an old
almost
dude.
40, making
Yeah.
$7 million. That's it, but
Yeah, whatever forever, man.
I think that Fleury and Lundqvist are on the same road. They're good
Eventually
right
you break
now,
down.
but they're going to hit that wall, and it's going to be
and then there's going to be no coming back from it. That's it.
no,
It's-
it's going to be done.
the crash and burn is going to be the crash and burn, and that's going to be it.
Yep,
Yep. So Senators, we're expecting them to finish last.
dead last.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think they're going to do
St.
jack
Louis kid
crap.
Chris Weidman's on that team, so he'll be a free agent after
I
next
mean,
year.
unless they
Yeah,
birth
come
some
home
kind
next
of
year.
weird NHL baby like that grows up real quick.
Yeah, Ottawa. Fully, mind you, I expected Vegas to be really bad last year, and they surprised me. I don't expect that surprise from Ottawa,
No,
but
totally different scenario.
Brady
too.
Kachuk will probably make the team due to them not having anybody.
Dude,
Logan Brown,
the
another
three of
St.
us
Louis
can
kid.
make that team.
I was going to say I was thinking about trying out, but I don't
Yeah.
know how they'll feel about
Yeah.
my six
Logan
now.
Brown.
I haven't been on
might
skates
make
in
the
15
team.
years. I'm pretty
just-
sure I'll make the third line.
I got some brand new ice skates. They're beautiful. You guys should see
There you
them.
go. So that'll be our East preview. Let's do.
Grades around y'all.
Where we at? Where we at?
As
Me
soon
one.
as-
I'm
as
gonna be
soon
the
as
guy be like
rinks
this.
open-
Whoa.
as soon as we get Steinberg open again,
Yeah.
screw you guys. I'm taking off.
All right, so teams in order last year was Tampa, Boston, Toronto, Florida, Detroit, Montreal, Ottawa, and the Sabres. So
Flip Ottawa and the Sabres, and that's exactly what I'm going to say is happening.
that's probably honestly not too far off.
Yeah, I think that's exact. I mean, that's my.
I think
I might move Buffalo up 2 spots, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Montreal,
like I
Buffalo
said,
flipped for me.
I think this is it.
Yeah, I think Montreal and Buffalo are flipped for me. Buffalo will be greatly improved over 62 points. Montreal is going to be greatly go down 71.
62.
That's all they had last year. Tampa is going to run away with it, in my opinion. Boston, Toronto, probably flip flop, put them wherever they finish 2 and 3.
Give or take.
Florida, I see making the playoffs this year. I think they were 1 point off last year.
Sounds familiar.
I think Hoffman's going to push them
I got my
above.
shirt on.
Yager, he did sign with some
dude.
Czech team, I believe. So
It's been a good year, Yager. It's been a good career.
just call it.
Let's go home.
It made me really sad when he did tweet. He was like, free agent thing or whatever. First year, all teams call me. This year, no calls.
Yeah.
And they showed a picture of him like back then, and then him now like looking at his phone. I was like, oh, poor guy. But who else can say that they did what
I know.
he did? You know,
Great
Like,
career, but like,
he's still pulling in the booty. He's good to go.
yeah.
Jeez Louise.
So let's see.
He pulls
And
in
so-
hotter girls than I do. That ain't fair.
Yeah. No, hello.
I mean, you pull in hotter girls than I do.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I know.
So that's our East preview. We're having I've been
It's this
distracted.
right here.
I know. I'm trying to like stay.
It doesn't work for
I'm
me.
a silver fox.
It doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
like,
trying to stay.
You aged. And I'm like, I know.
I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying my best.
you're
Just
really
keep it.
good at that
I
whole focus
know.
thing.
I know. So where are we at now?
We're just over here talking about getting some.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
we're
trying to be like.
terrible today.
I'm like,
you and
right.
I are bad. You want to go
rein it back
tail
in.
hunting after this?
I was going to say you can do the Pacific by yourself. We'll be over here.
Yeah, I was going to say. So
We'll be back in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll wrap up this one, and then we'll get into the Pacific one next. So,
You can't tell me what to do.
you know, if you get hold of us on Twitter, it's at Blues Hockey NHL. Chris is at.
At Hossapalooza.
There you
Sorry.
go. Ashley's at.
No, I wasn't
What
thinking.
were you thinking about?
You don't want
Yeah,
to.
no, I was going to say Ashley's at.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. My last name still changed because I did the married thing. At Ashley Rains.
Perfect. And then, so a couple quick announcements on where to get a hold of us now. I decided to make us actually semi-hip, so we are on Instagram now.
We
Look
are
at
with
us.
the program.
Skewing young now.
Yeah, so
That IG.
Yeah, Snapchat. And I don't think it's, I don't get that. So anyway,
No, too many wiener pics will come our way. If we do Snapchat.
you know.
Come on.
You
I
know.
had my own Snapchat, and that thing was a cesspool. It was like a weird gardening thing.
you know.
Like, it was really weird.
Tuesday night,
We'll
you're
talk
bored.
about it on
So many wieners.
Anyway,
Seriously, hot dog galore.
so Instagram, look up Blues Hockey Podcast. Let's see, website blueshockeypodcast. Was it?
Net.
Okay, so blueshockeypodcast.net. So,
Don't get redirected.
oh, no, we'll get into that later. Where am I at now? Facebook, Blues Hockey Podcast, and where to find the podcast to listen to on AppWise, iTunes, Stitcher, and 2 new ones, Spotify and Google Play.
So if we could
Sweet.
get a couple of you young guns to come in here and show me how to use those, that would be great.
So many places to find us, 5 different places to listen.
How many?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Cinco!
5th.
Fifth.
Anyway, so yeah, that was a bit of a trainer for our first one. We're
It'll
all
get
over the
better.
place. We'll be fine.
I promise this has never happened
Getting the
before.
kinks out. We'll come back with the
We
Pacific.
don't have kinks. Unless they're bedroom kinks.
None that I'm working out.
Yeah,
It's like Ashley.
there we go. No, we're good. So no, it's good. So we're
Next podcast, no pants.
Nah, it might have to happen.
Podcast.
All right, that'll be our Pacific division. So the Pacific, I guess all of us will not be wearing pants. So there you go. So we'll wrap it up there, and we'll be back soon. Thanks, guys.
Check it.